Hey there, dream chasers. This is Hannah Pryde, and welcome to Pryde and Shine, the podcast where we explore the influencers and innovators of Dubai. Proudly sponsored by Pryde Migration, your dedicated partner for immigrating to Dubai. Okay, welcome Conor to the podcast. How are we?
Very good, thanks. How are you?
Fantastic. Absolutely
good.
Great. So Conor, to give you a bit of background, Conor moved to Dubai around the same time as me 3.5 years ago.
Yep.
You've had a bit of the same journey as me, working for someone, now setting up your own business within scaling businesses, affiliate marketing, ads, etc. So give us a bit of background. How did you end up in Dubai originally?
Originally, I actually came here on holiday, during the pandemic. I'd never been to Dubai and didn't really fancy it, to be honest, but came here. It was like the only place that was sort of open for tourists, and I think within like the first day or two of being here, I knew that, you know, this was for me and I wanted to sort of stay here. So I did. I stayed for like 10 days on holiday, and then I think I stayed for an extra 4 months and was sort of just working remotely. Like, I think half the population at that point.
Yeah, exactly. That's when we met, because I came for a 10-day holiday. You came New Year?
I think just before, yeah.
Yeah,
December,
we legit came at the exact same time, and I done the exact same as you. I think that's how most of my friends now in Dubai, they've all came that way.
Yeah.
But I think at the time, no one really spoke about Dubai. But I think going back again, what I've discussed before is the demographic in Dubai since COVID has completely changed. Before then, it was more people on packages, coming here to be a teacher, coming here to work in oil.
Yeah.
Whereas now you'll see within the business you're in, it's all entrepreneurs. It's all young people that are chasing this dream. I always laugh, like it used to be the American dream, and now it's very much the Dubai dream. Sure. Like, it's absolutely crazy. So then, obviously, what was the first job? What was the job that you worked remotely?
So I had a company or a partnership back in the UK. It was like a service-based marketing company, and it was okay. It done okay. We had a team in the UK. We promoted other companies from social ads and Google paid media. But like I said, it wasn't like a high revenue business. You know, it covered salaries, and then at the end of the month there was a bit of dividends, but it was nothing too crazy. So I always knew that during COVID, it wasn't like a business that I wanted to sort of focus my energy on for the future, just because of how it was sort of dwindling. And at that time, there was so much uncertainty in the marketplace, right? Like,
tell me about
businesses and brands weren't wanting to invest in marketing agencies, so we're kind of getting clients, we're losing clients, and it was just very unstable.
Yeah, there's been a complete shift. Even now, COVID was 4 years ago, which is bloody crazy. But even now, I was saying, we moved over here on like hybrid jobs.
Yeah.
I was marketing for a charity while doing uni.
Yeah.
You were doing a hybrid. You don't really hear of anyone doing hybrid now, unless you own the business.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of shifting back into the office work. Offices are probably being made nicer than ever. I know the office I sit in within Strada, bloody hell, we've got everything. We've got a bar,
for sure.
We've got a coffee shop. People now are really focusing on making offices so beautiful that you don't want to leave them, or you're working in workspaces that you're getting to have that social aspect. It's rare to get a Zoom meeting now. People want that face-to-face contact.
I think people had like got used to working from home, which is fine, and then employers sort of thought the first 12 months like productivity had spiked because it was doing good. Businesses were doing good, especially in online space. And then after that sort of second year of COVID, people were just getting
lazy
and getting used to working in their pants and, you know, not going into the office. So I think companies adapt to the change, and I think, like you
100%.
said, offices now are sort of a key part of sort of building the culture.
It's amazing, some of the offices. Like, even where we're both from Scotland, Glasgow, what's the new bank that was set up there? That bank office is
the Barclays one in Glasgow,
it looks so cool. And even the new offices that are popping up around Dubai, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And you can see now people are really focusing on putting money into the offices, because that's where the most productivity gets done again.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you went from the hybrid job and then you set up your company.
Yes.
So tell me about this company that you set up. How did you get the idea, and what was like the drive for it?
Well, when I moved here, I guess the drive was Dubai, right? Yeah. So like, you come here and, like you said, coming from Scotland, and like you're kind of used to a certain lifestyle and a certain sort of, I don't know, just a way of living.
Yeah.
And then when you come into Dubai, you're like, wow, like what is going on here?
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? Like, if you thought you were doing okay in the UK, you come here and you're just like, you know what I mean? Like,
legit, it's like the kick up the arse you need.
Exactly,
you see everyone back home, you're probably drinking drinking. You're probably driving an Audi, BMW, come here and it's G-Wagons, R3s,
every second
R8.
car, you know, it's like, so yeah, for me, that was
crazy.
like a sort of motivating factor, right? Because, you know, like I said, I had a company, it was doing all right, and then I came here, and then you just have a sort of level of ambition that just, you know, grows dramatically, because you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind that, or I want a bit of that.
Yeah.
So you're sort of, the mindset changes automatically. It certainly did for me. So at that point, obviously, one, it's more, the cost of living is more expensive here, right? So you're motivated, firstly, to make more money. You have to think, right, how do I make more money? Because the salary or the income that I have in the UK isn't going to support the life that I want in Dubai.
Yeah.
I mean, it can. It depends how you like to live, you know.
But
you and I like to,
the lavish lifestyle.
So it's,
like a few dinners in DIFC.
Exactly. So that's
I mean, when a drink's what, £10, you have to work.
So that
From
was my
Scotland.
motivation. That was my motivation to leave that company and set up a new company. And when I moved here, the level of networking was just insane. Like,
it's crazy.
I got introduced to so many people within the first year that I already knew that I could work with them and make money.
And do you know what? I speak about this a lot with people. Do you not think in Dubai, especially comparing to the UK, Scotland, probably Scotland's a lot smaller, so maybe this is why we've seen it more. But in Dubai, people really want to help each other.
For sure.
People really want to be like, oh, Conor, I've got this mate, I'll introduce you to them. Or this person will be able to help you in this way. And everyone's really good at bringing their synergies together, whether that be business, whether that be personal. People are very much open to interacting, sitting at dinner, conferences, networking. They'll just be, oh, come along, tag along, it'll be fine. And it's weird. People here are very much work on referral basis, I've really noticed. So back home, when I had businesses, like helped within businesses, etc. If someone gave me business, we wouldn't really think, we'd be like, oh, thanks very much, mate, I'll give you a drink.
Exactly.
Whereas over here, because everyone's so money orientated, if I say to someone, I'll give you a backhander, they're then more and more inclined. And then you get that organic growth.
It's how it should work, you know?
It should, and I don't know why the UK have kind of lost that, because Dubai is one thing I really noticed, and you'll probably see yourself. Everyone's like, oh, I'll pass you a client, that's fine, I've got a referral fee, I've got a referral fee, I've got a referral fee. And I've really seen within my business, it's the organic growth from that. And to me, like, I've always been brought up within a family business. You always want to feed those around you.
For sure.
There's no fun getting to the top yourself. The higher you go, the harder you fall.
It goes back to what you said about people helping each other here, and the difference between maybe other countries is like, there is that ambition for everybody to do well. Yeah. And that kind of comes from like the top guy, you know, Sheikh Mo.
I know.
He's like instilling this attitude, like, we want to grow, we want to develop, we want to keep growing the country. So like,
it's
keep investing
crazy
in each other. So
it's really crazy. And do you know what? I think what's really good about over here, and you'll be able to touch on it probably more. So I've met a lot of people within the affiliate market space, scaling companies, which to me, we're going to have to speak about more depth, but to me, it still blows my mind. I'm still learning about it, because there's so many businesses now that are on the online space rather than like, there was a fact that I read about Airbnb as such. Airbnb, I think, made 1.8 billion in profit last year, but they don't own any of the properties. Yes, exactly. So they're using companies like yourself to scale, to get people to go on and be subleasers, to get people to go on and be renters and whatnot else, but they don't own anything. It's a pure profit-based business. Exactly. Same with drop shipping. And those are the type of people that are obviously moving to Dubai, because they've generated businesses that are really expanding their personal income growth. Even if it is the business is making money, they're paying themselves obscene wages. And some of them, it's like a one-man team and they're making millions upon millions. And they're so young.
I mean, the thing about the online space is like the internet is like a huge place to play in, right? It doesn't sleep. It's 24/7. You know, you can market products in, you know, Europe and America and this region and Asia. You know, there's endless opportunities to market. So like, what we do specifically is, you know, we work with various brands across various different verticals. So we work mainly in e-commerce space, but we work with brands in insurance and home improvement, DIY sector. So if these brands are looking for more sales or more leads on their companies, they come to us, they partner with us, and then we'll facilitate our marketing experts known as affiliates, and then we sort of connect them and we drive traffic and help them scale.
That's so cool. So
again, going back to your Airbnb point, we don't actually own any stock. We're just sort of managing relationships and then sort of building and scaling businesses from that way.
And how did you get into it? How did you learn about it? Because it isn't really something like 4 years ago I was at uni. It was 4 years ago, I was at uni, and I had a marketing degree.
Yeah.
I never learned anything about SEO, paid ads. We touched on it briefly within digital marketing.
Yeah.
But considering I've got an honours in a marketing degree and I know nothing about this whole quarter, like, it kind of blows my mind, especially because my most successful friends that I would say are all under 25 are within this space. They're doing paid ads, they're doing affiliate marketing, they're doing SEO, and I must sit with them a lot and be like, what? How?
I actually weirdly get into it, like, not in a way you would think. So I used to work in Ibiza when I was like 20, so like a long time ago.
Oh, we love it.
And I did a couple of seasons out there, just sort of wheeling and dealing. But like on the third year I was working out there, I got a job with a marketing agency. And at that stage, like, Ibiza was very much like brands and clubs, if you think about it. It was very traditional marketing, right? It was like billboards, it was like PR on the street, it was like planes flying with like banners over.
I remember that.
We actually, at the time, were very like, you know, disruptive on the island because we started promoting all these brands on Facebook. So like we were a service-based marketing company that was promoting, for example, clubs like Ushuaia and Amnesia, all their parties. We were promoting on Facebook and driving traffic from Facebook to the ticket sites.
So what year would that have been?
2012 to 2015.
Okay, so Facebook's still really, really fresh.
It was just coming out for paid media, so that's how we get into it, to answer your question. Like I was like one of the first to sort of, not one of the first, but in Ibiza I was like the first to sort of learn ads and then develop how to make money from the affiliation side of it by driving traffic to the company websites, selling club tickets to people in the UK or whoever shopping, and then we would make an affiliate commission.
That's, do you know what a great story, because I thought personally, and this just shows how uneducated I am within that, I only thought like SEO marketing was in the last 5 years. I didn't even realise you could have done that in 2012.
That makes me feel old when you say that. But
but generally I've only heard of it since being in Dubai, and it's one thing, again, going back to how Dubai really accelerates people's growth personally in business is, in the UK, we are probably quite far behind on it, and we're always like, oh, you hear someone do it, but you don't really hear too much.
Realise that until you come here. Like, because I worked in the digital space in the UK, and you know there is a lot of great agencies there and a lot of great companies and people, but you come out here, it's just different level.
It's different level.
You're meeting guys that are just like, and companies that are way ahead of everyone else. And like, that's the value of being based here, right? That's the value of one of the values of living here, is that you have access to these kind of companies, you have access to these entrepreneurs that they can just easily network, connect with, and eventually, you know, if you want, you can do business with them. Yeah,
it's honestly, it's a wild space. And then since you've set up your business, what have you seen within the Dubai? Like, have you got a lot more clients within Dubai? Like, how has it accelerated with the business since you've gone from setting up a business in the UK to Dubai?
So two things. The first thing would be probably more on a personal level. It enabled me, like I said at the start, it gave me the mindset to sort of like a fresh lease of life and new ambition to go scale the company. Like I said, that was the main factor about me being in Dubai. Like I said, I didn't move here deliberately. I came on holiday and stayed. So like I didn't like many people come here for the tax reasons to set up the business.
Of course.
That wasn't my overall like agenda, to come on holiday. And then you sort of realise like the benefits and value of living here and setting up a company here. So it was like the mindset that changed, that was allowed me to sort of then produce all these ideas. And then the second thing, like I touched on, was the level of networking. Was, like I said, there's so many people in the online space that's here that allowed me sort of intros, like you said, referrals. They put me in touch with people, and I sort of just put it together, made a company that I knew would work, and then sort of over the last 18 months we've sort of grew it to where we're at now. It's
crazy what they say, that your network is your net worth, and over being here, if you're surrounded by, let's say, you become one of the 6 people you hang around with.
Right, okay,
and if you're honestly working with these people, meeting these people, going for dinner with them, it does definitely accelerate 100%. Your growth. I always say to people, you never say no, you just work harder.
Yeah, for sure, exactly.
You can always make more money.
It's like rich dad,
poor dad,
It's not I can't afford it, it's how can I afford it?
Genuinely.
So you tell yourself that, then you find ways to make money.
I am an absolute nightmare for it, because I will spend. I'm like, it's fine, I'm just going to make more money.
Exactly. I'm the same.
Live life on this. Just keep going.
Not always a great strategy, but yeah, when you start making money.
I just can't say no. I just love a holiday far too much. And then going back to the mental side of it, me and you had a quick conversation before this on how much we now focus more on like our mental and our physical state.
For sure.
I've always been into the gym. You've always been into the gym, especially I think football, whatnot else. But now, especially within Dubai, I'm seeing a lot more things about mental health, mindfulness, how it accelerates your business.
Yeah.
And we were speaking about it outside. We now focus on it a lot more, and it's really driving our businesses and the ambition of where the business wants to be.
Like, you always need to invest in yourself, right? That's like number one rule in business. Like, you have to, like, for me, like, I have like a fitness coach, I have a running coach, I have a mindset coach, right? And I have a business coach as well. So that's 4 coaches I invest in. So all that, like, is ingredients for me to then self-development, which then allows me to then focus on my business and, you know, focus on growing the team as well.
Do you know what? It's mad you've touched on coaches, because I speak about this a lot with people. 2 years ago now, it's been 2 years ago, I got my first ever life coach.
Right.
And I said to my mum, she was like, Hannah, you don't need a therapist or a life coach. What? And I was like, no, I think that I do. Because see, when I have all these really wild ideas, sometimes I do actually need to like sit down and write them out. And if I can speak through and do a strategy back and be like, this is where I want to be, but how do I get there? You've got a fitness coach, which probably most people do have, but they kind of forget about the other stuff. If you need a fitness coach, why are you doing it? It's accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
So why don't we have one for business coaches if we're trying to get to that next level? Learn from their mistakes.
The key is trying to get to the next level, right? So like, you want to go from, you know, 6 figures a month to 7 figures a month. You need to constantly upgrade yourself. Like, that just doesn't happen. You need to like keep on learning, keep on improvement, and that's how you sort of scale anything in life. Like,
exactly.
Especially a business.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, I think it is something that a lot more people are kind of taking insightfulness from. They're now realizing the most successful people I know always have coaches. Whereas I put money on it. If I went back to the UK, people are like, no, I'm not wasting my money on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas over here, it's like everyone's like, I've got a therapist. Who's your therapist?
Exactly. Bragging about it. Yeah.
No, genuinely.
Back home, it's a night out in Wonderbar. You know what I mean?
Like, how many vodka shots can I get? But no, it's a big thing about Dubai. Everyone is always trying to get that 1% better every single day. And when we were saying about how you've got this business within affiliate marketing and scaling and whatnot, what would you say have been the pivotal moments when you've came to conferences on, how would I explain this? The pivotal moments when you've gone to conferences when you've been like, wow, I've broken through to the next level, or wow, right, that's where I need to be.
I think, like, in terms of breaking the next level and realising it is like, probably take yourself back to where you were 5 years ago. You know, I remember going to my first conference and I knew nothing about anything. And I looked around the room and I went to all the parties after it. I'm like, right, how the did I get in this position? You know what I mean? So that's one way, is like self-reflection, see how far you've came. But in terms of, you're always wanting to do better, right? Like, you're never happy. Like, what is this Chris Williamson quote? It says, like, or Hormozo, it says, you've already achieved the goals that you said would make you happy. So that's so true, right? Because you've achieved stuff, but then you're still constantly striving for more, because I don't know, like, certain people, and especially living in Dubai, there's that attitude, like, you have to get to the top.
100%. And you're always chasing what the next goal is. You've reached a goal, and it's kind of sad at times, because I have some mad goals, like genuinely some mad goals. One of them last year was like to make £10,000 a month. I'd done it and I was like, sound right, I want to make 20. And I was like, I want to get 100. And I'd got there and I was like, right, I want to get to 500. When am I going to make my first million? For sure. It's wild, because we're still so young. We are, and
well, I don't know about I can't speak for me, but
you are. You're still under 40. You're still young. But it's wild, because I do think we're always chasing and thriving. It's one thing I'd done. My birthday was recently. I sat down and was like, Hannah, look how far you've came. You were the girl that sat in a business class when you were 16 and couldn't spell bloody business. And now you're actually running a business. No, I was so dyslexic. Right? If my business teacher ever listened to this, like, he would laugh. He was like, can you really not spell business? It's like, can't go onto the computer. And he was like, what? It's business. And I was like, it's not working. He was like, how are you spelling it? And he's like, that's so wrong. Like, it was like BUIZENESS, like how you sound it. He was like, why are you in this class?
But listen, you don't need to be good at spelling to run a business. I know, you know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. Like, it's like, whatever schooling, like we spoke about at the start, it's all good education. But you've got guys now that are like 17, 18, even younger, who are learning skills online to how to make money. I know. And, like, you know, I wish I did that. I didn't really get into. I said, like, I was working in Ibiza doing digital stuff, but I didn't really set up my own company until I was after 30, do you know what I mean? She's old now, considering like what these young guys are doing.
I know, well, that's the thing, especially being over here. It is the younger ones, since being over here, that are really, I think, making everyone that's plus 25 to even 45 now, being like, shit, we need to get
sure,
ourselves together. Yeah, because they're so young. I've got a little sister and I've generally told her, I don't think you should go to university unless you're being a lawyer, a doctor, an archivist or something, an accountant, that you need the degree.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to do marketing, get on these courses because they will tell you so much. As I said, I didn't even know what you were doing at uni, and I've got a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
And honours, and I didn't know anything about SEO,
There's
digital
so much
marketing.
resources online now as well to learn, right?
It's crazy.
If you want to learn a skill, it's easy just to go into Google or YouTube and, you know, learn something.
Yeah.
If you really focus on it, you can learn it.
And I think that's where your business will really take off. Most people, we were speaking about this before the podcast, most people that are actually making the most money now are selling infographics online.
Sure. Exactly.
And it's all this, people now love to learn. I think people now are more motivated than ever to spend money on themselves,
100%.
as we've just said, like from coaches, from learning a new skill. The internet has got everything available on it. I think it comes down to are you lazy?
Yeah,
you don't come out the womb lazy. So whatever you do, you can continue to.
You don't come out
the womb lazy.
Well, that's true.
You don't come out the womb lazy.
For sure.
Like, and I honestly find it really annoying when people are. I'm like, you never were born lazy. You've adapted to be lazy.
I think you need to have the work ethic, right? Like that's the number one key to being successful. Is like you have to have a good work ethic. Like so many people will come here and they'll expect to do well. They'll get a job. They'll come with a company. They'll last 3 months and then they'll go home because they're just, you know, they don't have the work ethic. They want to go out and drink or whatever every week and go to brunches. Like, it doesn't work that way, you know. If you want to be successful, you have to put the work in.
100%. If you were to be 16 again, what would be your top 3 bits of advice? Or someone that's looking to get into your industry, affiliate marketing, because it is something I'm asked so much.
Yep. First thing is just, like I said, just learn. Like allocate time, whether it's a few hours a day, a few hours a week, learn something. And then when you learn at it, learn to be the best at it. Like that's the first thing. Second thing is like just do it. Right? Like don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until next week. Don't wait until the perfect time, because the perfect time never exists in anything in business. And the third thing is, I don't know, I guess like just network. You know, it doesn't matter if you're 16 or if you're 60. Like the more you put yourself out there, the more you connect with the right people, the more you're going to, like you said, your network is your network. Yeah. So the more you're going to elevate your career. And
I do think as well, touching on that, people just, you never fail. You never look silly. The more questions you ask, the more you're going to know.
Exactly.
And I think people are always scared to ask questions. I think the best thing you can do is ask a question. Google it.
Shy kids don't get sweets. Right? So you need to ask, you know.
100%. And the last question I want to finish it on. What is your wildest story since being in Dubai? What was the maddest thing now looking back, being like, oh my God, look, like how?
I got bumped like for an apartment when I first moved here.
Really?
Because actually I was new here. Like I said, I'd never been here.
Yeah.
And I seen like an apartment on like Brits in Dubai or something. And it was like, looking back, it was so stupid.
Yeah.
But it was like this like penthouse, like palm views. And it was like 5,000 dirham a month. And I was like, that's pretty good. So I went and met some dodgy Egyptian guy, gave him like a month rent and like a month deposit. And then he just sailed off into the sunset. And then,
really?
I went to the apartment to move in and the guy's like, no, mate, you don't live here.
Really? That, to be honest, that does happen a lot.
It does happen.
I feel like it's always apartments. Like
it's always apartments.
It's always apartments.
Always apartments. But
it's
listen,
crazy.
From that, like when I just moved here, I'm like, okay, next time just go through an agency.
Yeah.
Or like don't try and do something on the cheap.
Genuinely. I think that's the biggest thing when I have people come through me. I'm like, we are partnered with Strada. We're partnered that are going to find you an apartment. We're partnered with all the best people that you aren't going to have to be like, is it a scam? Is it a not? Because although Dubai is amazing, there are a few scammers.
Anywhere in the world, there's going to be a few dodgy people. It's normally the Glasgow people that talk to, but that is not the case here.
I know, it's definitely not. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great to hear about your story, and we look forward to seeing how far you come in the future.
Perfect, thank you.
Perfect.
And good luck in your business as well.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.